Hello, everyone. This is Ron Kraft with WorkMax. I'd like to welcome everybody to today's webinar. We're going to give just another minute or two, couple minutes for everyone to join. We've got a few that's already connected, so we'll give everyone just another minute or two to connect, and then we'll get started. All right, well, thank you again, everyone. Looks like we have a couple others that are still connecting, but we're just going to go ahead and get started. So thank you today for joining today's webinar. My name, again, is Ron Kraft with WorkMax by Foundation Software. Today, we're excited. We're going to be going through the WorkMax product and really focused on, well, as the title states here, eliminating time theft with technology. This webinar that we are going through today will be recorded, so we will make this available afterwards as well. If you do have any questions throughout, please feel free to use the questions chat option in the GoToWebinar. So again, my name is Ron Kraft, and I will be going through this webinar with you. I've been with WorkMax for just over 6 years now, and so I've worked with a lot of companies. I'm helping them to streamline and automate those processes and really improve accuracy with their data as well. WorkMax is a cloud-based mobile app for field data collection. Today, our focus is going to be on how technology can help to eliminate time theft. With WorkMax, we do that by these 4 features and functions. First, real time, meaning that having the employees clocking in and out in real time as opposed to after the fact. This is automated and it's accurate. GPS and geofence, verifying and validating that the guys are actually on site when they clock in, when they clock out. Facial recognition. We want to stop any buddy punching, ghost punching that may be going on, and make sure that the right guys are actually there at work. And then stopping any unauthorized overtime. This is big. You want to make sure that you're paying your guys for their actual hours worked. So that has a huge impact on the business bottom line as well. So as we go through this, let me go ahead and switch screens, and we're going to jump into the product. So WorkMax is a cloud-based system, and there are 2 sides to it. Here, first, what we're looking at is the control center. This is where, for those in the office, where you're going to log in online to view all of that data as it's submitted from the field. This is web-based. You can access this from anywhere at any time. The other side of the system is the mobile app. This is what the guys in the field are going to use to clock in and clock out. Now I'm going to walk you through what that looks like from the field, clocking in and out, but then seeing that information here in the office as well. So I'm going to pull up my phone just right here on my desk. Let's go ahead and pull this up. There we go. All right, we have the WorkMax app installed. We open it up. It's a simple pin pad. Each employee is assigned a pin. If I put the pin number in for an individual employee, so let's say we've got George here who's going to clock in. George goes to clock in, and right away we get our confirmation page. So the camera turns on. Again, we do facial recognition, make sure that there's no buddy punching or anything like that. I'll touch more on this in a minute. But right here is where they can select which job or which project are they working on. You want to make sure that the right job is being reported, so you're able to limit and restrict what jobs or what codes they have access to. Let's say he's clocking into this project, and he can then select his task or his code. These obviously would be your codes that we pull over from your accounting system, but these codes can also be job specific. Again, you want to ensure that they're reporting on the right job and the right code, so you can control that. I'll grab one of these random codes and then just confirm. So that's complete, and it sends the data back to the office. So if we switch back over here to the control center, where let's say that we're in the office, we're going to go to the time editor, and let's look at today's date. And there we go. There's George. He's just clocked into this job. Here's what he's doing, date, time. So again, it's automated and in real time that you see that back in the office. Now the value here is you're getting to the minute data. You know, we can do time rounding if needed, but again, it's all about getting in, not just improving the processes as far as streamlining and automate that, but also getting better accuracy with the data. So as they clock in, as they clock out, you're getting actual time worked. Also, you're not having to wait for the guys to submit that time back to the office. And there's challenges that come with that, whether that's done, you know, they have to send in a text, or maybe they have to send an email, or maybe they've got to write that on paper and they get back to the office. I was talking to a company the other day, they had one turned in on a dirty napkin with a mustard stain on it. So here it's 2 to 3 seconds on the mobile app. They clock in, you're seeing that back in the office in real time. Another value with the real-time accuracy and being able to use technology is that now you get better reporting as well. You can come in here and sort and filter this by date, but then also filter that data by employee. If I just quickly need to drill down and look for just this one employee's time, or maybe I want to do that by project. I want to see everything that's been reported just on this one job. So the ease of use and accessibility of having real-time data is huge. Okay, now the second point that we were going to be talking about is GPS. As they're clocking in and out from the field, WorkMax will capture their GPS location. You'll notice here in this control center, on the left-hand side, there are these tags. So these are alerts about the details of those records. Anything that's red is an alert to tell you that there's something wrong. It's something that doesn't match up. For example, GPS, okay? If I see that's red, now I can select that record, scroll down, and then look at those details. Okay, so here is the job site. There's the geofence that we set up around that job site. And all the way down here, okay, there's George, who's clocked in 6.5 miles away. So just helping to get that visibility in the field, making sure guys are actually on site when they're clocking in, when they're clocking out, and not at Starbucks getting their morning coffee, or I mean, they could be at home still trying to clock in, right? Again, we want to validate and verify the data. So part of that, another value with the GPS and capturing that, is that there are also reports and alerts that will show you any discrepancies. Let me just quickly just expand my date range here. I want to just pull in some more records. So when you've got multiple guys that are clocking in and out every day, this little view right here obviously is going to fill up pretty quick, right? So you can see here I've got pages and pages of different employees and different jobs, different codes. But this is where, again, those filters come in, and I can quickly drill down and look under those tags to see if there are any GPS discrepancies. Who's been clocking in and out outside of the job site? I filter that out, and I can see here, yeah, it looks like George has a problem, right? So the filters and reports are going to help you manage that, but we're going to capture that data when they clock in and when they clock out. Now with our GPS, this is not going to track them, after they leave work, they're going home. We're not going to be following them or anything like that. We're simply capturing their location when they clock in and out, and then comparing that to the actual job site itself. The GPS, this is auto-generated through our integration with your accounting system or ERP. So when we pull over the data from your accounting system, we import all of your jobs, all of your codes, all of your employee data. If there is a physical address with that project, with that job, then it'll auto-generate this geofence. If there is not a physical address with that job, that's not a problem. You can just drop a pin on that map and then create that geofence. Now you then also have the ability to customize the size and radius of that geofence by job. So maybe for one job or one project, we need to make that a little bit tighter, right? Or maybe we have another project where that needs to be a little bit bigger. So you do have that flexibility in controlling that. But again, the goal here was like the topic for today, eliminating time theft with technology. Here, we're able to help you validate and verify that the employees are actually on site. The third point, and going right along those lines, is the facial recognition. Okay, we took a picture when we clocked in, all right? Here though, this tag, if that's red, that is an alert to let me know that whoever's clocked in does not match the picture for George. So now I can select that record, scroll down, and again, look at those details. All right, so here is George. Okay, that's the George we know. But this is the guy who has clocked in. WorkMax actually has patented biometric technology. We've developed this where what happens is we actually are comparing these images, and then it will alert you if it's not a match. So you don't have to drill down and select each picture individually to see if it's the right guy. The system's going to do that for you. So here, again, we're trying to validate and verify, eliminate any buddy punching. As a perfect example, now, let's say, now I can't wake up late one day, hurry and text my buddy and be like, hey, could you clock in for me? Well, if we're going to take a picture, then no, because it's going to get flagged in the system just like that. With our facial recognition technology, it also allows you to create what we call a threshold. So here in this example, I'm saying that it needs to be at least a 75% match to pass. You can see here, I am a 3% match to George Costanza. So I am well below that threshold, and now I failed. So this allows you though to have that flexibility, because maybe one day, he's wearing a hat or he grew a beard, right? So you can kind of play around with that threshold. But again, here we're helping you to eliminate any time theft by stopping any buddy punching or ghost punching that might be going on. Okay. Our fourth point that we are going to be focused on today is unauthorized overtime. The challenge here is if you don't have a system in place that will automatically handle that for you, too many times it's left up to the individuals in the field to just report, yeah, I actually ended up working 10 hours, 12 hours, or whatever. WorkMax has settings that are specifically built in to help mitigate that. If I come here under the settings, here there actually is a setting or a rule that we can put in place where what this is going to do is say, alert me if hours exceed X amount in a shift. You know, maybe it's 10 hours, maybe it's 12 hours or anything like that. So if they're only supposed to be working 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, right? That's fine. But now if I turn this on, anything that is over that amount, it will be flagged in red here in this control center. So it's an alert to you that, hey, there's, you know, they've worked more than what they were supposed to. So that's one setting or option. The other thing is, when we create your WorkMax account, we come in here and we customize the system to match your business. Part of that is creating all of these different shift rules, overtime rules, and there's a lot of flexibility here. We can create multiple rules and then apply those to the different jobs, different employees, different groups. For example, maybe let's say our default rule as a company is anything over 40, you know, for overtime, okay? But maybe we have one group where, you know, for this union, it's anything after 8 in a day, right? And weekends, or when does double time start? So we can create these rules, and now the system is going to handle those overtime rules for you. And then these can be applied to the different jobs, different employees, different groups. California, they are very, very specific. They have very strict labor laws, and so we can handle that by creating these custom rules like this. Another rule that we can also utilize is part of what we call the shift rules. So here, we can come in here and create our shift, but it allows you to also put in what we call a float time. What this says is, you know, if their shift is 7 to 4, we don't want them coming into the office and showing up at 6:30 and clocking in and then getting that extra time on the clock, right? So here, if we have this in place, this is going to say, we're going to give you a 5-minute float. You know, maybe everyone's lined up at the tablet, and so we need to take a couple of minutes to get everyone clocked in. So, okay, that's fine. But now, if they go to clock in at 6:30, it will not count until 6:55 because we enforced this rule that will apply that float. So there's rules in place through WorkMax that, again, are going to help you to manage and eliminate that time theft by not having the employees themselves dictate their overtime. So again, let's come back full circle now. Okay, let's say that George is done for the day. He's going to come back to the mobile app, put his PIN number back in. Now, right away, it's going to give him his current status. It's showing where he's clocked into, what he's doing, how long has he been there. If he's done for the day, he's just going to go ahead and clock out. Again, we get our confirmation. We're going to take a picture. They do have the ability right here to add a note if needed. You know, if you need to pass along some instructions, or hey, I had to leave early or whatever, they can add a note with their time record. And I have this setting turned on where when they clock out, it's going to require them to sign off on their time. So it's going to show them their total hours for the day, and then they just use their finger and sign. That's complete. We send that back to the office. Now we're going to refresh this page. So now, again, I see he's clocked out and he's approved and signed off his time, and I get accurate data of how much time was spent doing said task. So again, eliminating time theft with technology by utilizing real-time clock in, clock out, getting that visibility in the office just to see where they're at, what they're doing, better accuracy with the data, the ease of use and accessibility of being able to report and filter that in real time as well, and also the functionality of capturing GPS location, making sure that they're actually on site when they clock in and out, facial recognition to help eliminate any buddy punching, ghost punching, and then being able to also manage their overtime by setting those rules in place where the system can handle that for you based off of the job, based off of the employee or group. Okay, well, I appreciate the time today. We've got a few minutes here left, and so if there are any questions, it looks like I may have had a couple of hands raised earlier, and so I apologize. And if you do have a question, feel free to add that into the questions chat, and we can address those. Let's see, John, you had your hand raised. Was there a question that you had? Okay, it looks like there's a question on integration. So how do we get data into WorkMax? So when we create your WorkMax account, we do an integration with your accounting system, and we do that using our integration tool called ConnectMax. So that's this piece right here. This serves as kind of like the bridge between the two sides. And here what we do is we make a direct connection to the database for your accounting system. Okay. This allows us to automatically import all of your jobs, all of your codes, all of your employee data. Now this is a direct connection. So going forward, anytime we pull over that, anytime you put new information into your accounting system, this will pull over directly into WorkMax. You add a new job, you inactivate a project, you add a new employee. This piece here will pull that over to our system automatically. So there's no double entry. You don't have to download anything. This just runs in the background. Then we use WorkMax to collect the data. All right, so just like what we showed here, they're going to be clocking in and out on the app. You see that in real time through this control center. When you're ready, at the end of the day or at the end of the week or the end of the pay period, we then need to send the data back for payroll. So we use this same tool now to export that data. All of the records are already in the system, right? So there's no manual entry or of anything. You literally just come in here and put in the date range that we need and export. Now, this is going to download a formatted CSV file or an Excel file with all of those records. And you then take that file and import that or upload that back to your accounting system. So that's what the data flow looks like between your accounting system, WorkMax, payroll. We make that direct connection here through the ConnectMax tool, and we auto import that, and then we collect the data through WorkMax and then export that out. There's a question, does WorkMax integrate with other software outside of Foundation? We do. We actually integrate with over 100 different accounting systems and payroll services. So if you're using something outside of Foundation, that's not a problem. We do this same integration and connection with just about everything else out there. Sage, Viewpoint, Computeries, Acumatica, QuickBooks, you name it. All right, well, we are coming here to the end of our time, and we'll ask for one last round for questions. If you do have any other questions that we didn't get to today, please feel free to just reach out and follow up. My contact information here is available. And again, this recording for today's webinar, I think we do have, and we'll make that available and send that out as a follow-up. But if there's no other questions, I really appreciate the time. Hopefully this was beneficial and helpful to you guys. Would love to see what we can do to help you to streamline and automate those processes as it relates to employee time tracking. And again, eliminate that time theft with technology. Thanks again, everybody. We hope you have a great day today.